So I'm making this video to help anybody else out there who had the same issue I did. I purchased this truck. Actually, I've had it for a few years. Somebody had done a previous V8 conversion on it, and the engine has always run fine, but the radiator has always struggled to maintain temperature, and it's always struggled. And finally, it started leaking about a year ago or so, and I bit the bullet and I wanted to buy a new radiator. I found out in all my research that apparently the radiators that were originally furnished for the straight six cylinders were different from the units that would have been for the V8s. And not only are they different in size, but they're also in a slightly different location. So I scoured the internet, as everybody does today, to find all my answers, and for some reason I just wasn't able to do this. So hopefully this will help somebody else out that has the same issues. So what we're looking at right now is inside the compartment where the previous radiator was. As you can see, these mounting brackets here and here held the radiator in place. And the radiator itself was actually smaller. There was a bracket as well that you can see here, which held it in place at the top, and also a baffle that surrounded the radiator that was bolted on. So what we find out after looking is that the V8 radiator is wider and will not fit in that location. But once I dismantled everything, you can see right here, and this was for some reason information that I couldn't find on the internet, those holes were already made from the factory, I'm assuming for the V8 mount. So I was able to order a radiator from a place called Hawthorne Industrial Radiator in New Jersey. And Mike got me the hookup. He's the owner there. He was a great guy. I was kind of looking for something in a black, but aluminum if possible, and I wasn't having any luck doing that. He was able to hook me up with a Champion unit that is a nice 3-row unit that should certainly handle all the cooling needs for the truck, and also retrofit into the original spot. The additional parts that I needed, I got from LMC Truck. So here are the additional parts that I had to get from LMC Truck to complete the install, and I just got them. They're all as they were described. Everything seems to fit great. Basically, you have two of these, which mount at the bottom in those two square holes that I showed you before. They're wider than the ones for the 6-cylinder, which is why they accommodate the larger radiator, so you can't reuse the old ones. And then the bracket, which holds the top, is this piece here. And as you can see, compared to the original, it actually would mount like this. It's actually a bit shorter because that allows for the radiator to be moved more forward as well. I've seen guys online trying to solder new ones, cut them, and do all sorts of things. All the parts here were less than $20. So I'm not sure why you'd go through all that trouble if you didn't have to. I know I certainly didn't want to. I think that's pretty reasonable for just about anybody out there, So that's about it. Now I'm going to be doing the install soon, and when it's all in, I'll shoot another video and show you how it all hooks up. But upon test fitting it, everything seems great. The only thing I think I'm going to have to do, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do is, if you notice these, which fit inside these pieces here, they're going to be a little too fat to fit onto the new radiator, but they're rubber. So all I'm going to do is just trim them down a little bit thinner, and I think I'll have no problem fitting them onto the new radiator. It's just a little different tolerance than the other one. So that's it. Hope this helps. Now, as you can see, I've mounted the two new brackets up from where the old one used to be. And also, I did mention I did have to just shave this side off a little bit over here, you can see, just to make the new one fit in. But it's nice and snug now. And yeah, that's it. And then also where you see these big holes here, like there and over there, those were square as well. Those were holding the old brackets. They were riveted in, so I used a step drill bit, and I actually drilled it out from the middle in order to, you know, get rid of the old brackets. And then I just widened the holes and painted them up, so you know they look kind of a factory, like they belong. But they were actually square holes, just like the ones that these other brackets were in. So when all was said and done, it actually went in quite smoothly. Really no big issues. Those bottom brackets fit great. I just trimmed those rubber supports down a little bit. And I had to do the same thing up here as well. On this bracket here, not only did I cut down one side of the rubber gasket, I also had to cut down the top to give me a little more space here. It was a little far away, so by cutting the top rubber down, I was able to get it closer. And I actually even put like 3 washers underneath this bracket to really firm it up. Otherwise there was going to be a little bit of a gap. But you know, she's rock solid. She's installed, and tomorrow I will be putting hoses on. This one I forgot to mention, the new radiator also has the transmission cooler built into it, and the V8 here does have an automatic now. So I'm going to tap those lines into the bottom, and you know, hopefully we should be good to go. And so here you go. Here's the final install. Went pretty smooth. Picked up a couple hoses from the local auto parts store. They were actually the stock hoses for a V8 in this truck, which is a 65 Chevy C10. And that's it. Here's the top bracket right here. Here's the 2 bottom brackets. That also shows the transmission lines hooked up. And we're going to fill her up and give her a shot.